President Tinubu Brazil visit resuscitated bilateral trade as first commercial flight from Brazil arrives Nigeria. Senate strengthening oversight, drives petroleum downstream sector reforms in line with Nigerians' energy transition goals. World Bank set to commence next phase of interventions to mitigate impact of COVID-19 pandemic in the country. Hello and welcome to the late night news at 11 on NTA News 24. We are live in Abuja. I am Vivian Ezadifi. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is en route to Abuja from Brazil following his state visit, which focused on strengthening relationship between Nigeria and Brazil. A release by Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, says the presidential jet took off from Brasilia International Airport, Air Force Base at 12:57 p.m. local time. President Tinubu arrived in Brasilia early on Monday, August 25th, for the strategic diplomatic engagement, and after his arrival, he later met with President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva and senior Brazilian officials. Both leaders witnessed the signing of 5 memoranda of understanding covering aviation, foreign affairs, science and technology, and agriculture, key sectors in Nigeria's development agenda. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Safety, Festus Keyamo, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, were among other top government functionaries on board the first commercial flight from Brazil to Nigeria. The ministers described the development as one of the several positive results of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's recent visit to Brazil to resuscitate bilateral trade relations between the two countries. Amaka O reports.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's recent significant visit to President da Silva of Brazil is yielding positive fruits. The resuscitation and strengthening of bilateral trade relations between both countries has made possible a direct 7-hour flight from Brazil to Nigeria. This was experienced by the Ministers of Aviation and Aerospace Safety, Festus Keyamo, and Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, including other top government functionaries. They applauded the president for the achievement and described the symbiotic relationship as one that will boost and facilitate trade between Nigeria and Brazil.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in his wisdom, has decided to open up our economic relations, diplomatic relations, trade relations again with Brazil. Brazil is the biggest economy in South America. And of course, Nigeria is considered the biggest economy in Africa. So connecting these two economies was very key to both presidents. The trade between both countries plummeted from $10 billion to $2 billion. And that is how, in 10 years, and that was how the things got sour. But with this, of course, relations will pick up again. And key to this, key to the achievement of all the agreements we signed, is the connectivity between both countries. So what you are seeing today is the first fruit. We are bringing back an actual fulfillment, an actual gain of that visit, which is the first maiden flight between Brazil and Nigeria. Before, let me tell you this, there was no way you could have gone to Brazil or you would have gone back to Addis Ababa first or gone down south to either Angola or South Africa. There was no connection in the whole of Central and West Africa. So the whole of West Africa and Central Africa is connected to Nigeria now. That's the benefit to our economy, because they can all come here to connect airpeace. The whole of West Africa and Central Africa can come here to connect airpeace, and then up to South America, up to Brazil, and then from there, if we interline the whole of South America and the Caribbean. It's huge for our economy. And this is all credit to Mr. President and his renewed hope agenda.
Everyone is happy about what is happening. There's not just an economic connection. It's also cultural, social, connection between the two parts of the world.
One of Nigeria's leading airlines, as part of the collaboration between both countries, promises to ensure sustainability and increase in the number of flights flying the route.
He's creating a Nigeria for the future of everyone. And you might not know the opportunities that are embedded in all the MOUs of signed until they start being implemented. It's huge. But what we did today is symbolic and at the same time real.
The first commercial flight from Brazil to Nigeria is historic and can best be described as a strategic move that will open up more investment windows and boost bilateral relations between both countries. From the Murtala International Airport in Lagos.
An early morning protest by the Niger Delta Ethnic Nationalities Youth Leaders Forum had hindered movement around the NNPC Limited towers in Abuja city center. Though NNPC Limited gate has since been cleared of the protesters, Lydia Sampson reports that the resolution leading to the protest suspension remains sketchy.
Like any other working day, NNPC Limited was set for business. However, a protest blocked all strategic entrances to the towers. Except for the indicting banners, it would have been easy for any onlooker to mistake the gathering for a carnival due to its peaceful nature. I asked the president of the forum, Jonathan Lupubiri, if other avenues were explored before taking the protest action.
To carry on this peaceful message, we have met with the Secretary to the government of our federation. We have spoken to the President of the Senate our concerns. We have spoken to key leaders, including ministers from the Niger Delta. But of course, we believe that their hands are tied. And when a peaceful message is ignored forever, we have to act in a manner that brings us closer to our goals.
They committed to ensuring a peaceful conduct, which actually prevailed. Thereafter, selected leaders of the forum were invited into the towers for a closed-door discussion. Though the resolution of the outcome remains sketchy, the Niger Delta Ethnic Nationalities Youth Leaders Forum, who hitherto occupied NNPC Limited Gate in protest, have since dispersed. President Oro Youth Movement, Comrade Edith Ayo, told NTA News that after meeting with the leadership of NNPC Limited, who promised to look into their demands, they decided to go into consultation with their members to suspend the protest. The question is, for how long? Have we seen the end of this? In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
In the meantime, Senate Committee on Downstream Petroleum is focused on strengthening legislative oversight, driving comprehensive reforms in the petroleum downstream sector, and aligning its operations with Nigerian energy transition goals. Osinachi Samuel reports on the committee's 5-day retreat in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital.
The Senate Committee on Downstream Petroleum, chaired by Senators, the 5-day retreat in Port Harcourt, tagging the retreat a covenant of responsibility. Senator Abdul Rahman urges members to confront challenges in the sector and to deliver policy solutions in line with President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. He stressed the sector's role in energy security, productivity, and economic diversification, pledging that a practicable legislative agenda will be fashioned by the end of the retreat.
This retreat is designed as a platform for sober reflection, candid engagement, and the charting of a clear roadmap that will guide the work of this committee in the 10th Senate. It is also an opportunity to align the constitutional mandate of this committee with the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Discussions focused on the implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act, especially the gas infrastructure and host community development funds, as well as the broader reforms to ensure transparency, efficiency, and growth. Key stakeholders in oil production and refining, oil marketers and host communities are participating. In Port Harcourt, Osinachi Samuel, NTA News.
Staying with Port Harcourt, communities across Rivers State most prone to flooding from Ahuda, Oba Ebema Ndoni, Degema, Andoni to Obiakpor local government area are set to benefit from fresh intervention measures as the state government joins forces with the National Emergency Agency to set up rapid response structures to protect lives and livelihood. Correspondent again, Osinachi Samuel reports on a week-long simulation exercise in the area.
River State, being largely riverine and crisscrossed by the Niger Delta waterways, is highly vulnerable to seasonal flooding, particularly between August and October due to heavy rainfall. This usually brings it tops on NIMET's annual flood projection list. To avert this year's threat, the River State Central Working Committee on Flood Management and Control is partnering the National Emergency Management Agency, hence this visit to Mbiama in Ahuda West local government area for a week-long simulation tagged Operation EJ Wajilbo. Director General NEMA Zubiada Omar, represented by Onimode Bandele, said the exercise is designed to give stakeholders hands-on knowledge of disaster response, describing it as a call to action in the face of serious weather forecasts.
This exercise to check the preparedness and response of all stakeholders when it comes to real response.
As part of its proactive response, the River State government has set up multi-sectorial flood committees, approved the rehabilitation of IDP camps, and signed an executive order to establish a state flood emergency agency.
We're working towards ensuring that we buy all the relief materials, some of which you have seen already. We are going to make sure that water and all that is required within such emergency situations are made available well ahead of time.
Air Commodore Kenneth assured that security agencies are ready to back the operation, while the community leaders expressed appreciation for the relief materials.
We need rehabilitation of the facility that we've broken down. And what I'm saying is what's happening in all the kingdoms.
Authorities are urging communities to remain vigilant and cooperate with officials as preparations intensify to safeguard lives and property. From Mbiama in Ahuda West, local government area of River State, Osinachi Samuel, NTA News.
There will be more reports after this time out. Stay with us.
Feel the power of precision, engineered to perfection. Every component is crafted with care, and each design is meticulously tested. From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blend in performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.
In total submission to the will of God, we announce the passing unto glory of late Mrs. Juliana Amina Yusuf, Ni Ihiabe Otumi, aged 78 years. Burial arrangements begins Thursday, 28 August 2025. Wake keep. Body leaves Grimad Hospital, Mortuary Ahingba to Abiokolo, Omala Local Government, Kogi State. Requiem Mass during the wake keep. Friday, 29 August 2025. Funeral Mass at Our Lady Queen of Peace Catholic Church, Abiokolo, Omala Local Government, Kogi State by 10 a.m. Interment at her residence opposite INEC office, Abiokolo Ife, Omala Local Government, Kogi State. May her soul rest in peace. Amen.
Precious Lord, lead me home.
Welcome back. The next phase of World Bank intervention to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 pandemic in the country is set to commence as stakeholders dissect modalities for implementation in the North Central Zone. Aliu Tijani reports.
The Nigerian Community Action for Resilience and Economic Stimulus, NGCARES, a World Bank-assisted program, was introduced to cushion the effect of COVID-19 pandemic on the economy. Since its introduction, it has been mitigating shocks on the economy through various interventions across the sectors. This meeting, therefore, is to appraise the implementation of the program under the independent verification assessment to chart a way forward for the next phase of the program, known as 2.0. Participants are from all the states in the North Central Zone, including FCT, who expressed readiness of their state's government to key into the next phase of the program.
Not only are we inviting or assessing the IVA, we're also bringing into the room here beneficiaries that have benefited from NGCARES to come here and also give us feedback.
So as we go into NGCARES 2.0, we believe that independence should be strengthened. We believe that it should be as accurate as possible.
Governor Abdullahi Sule says the World Bank assisted program, also known as NGCARES, came in handy after the pandemic, and Nasarawa State benefited immensely from the interventions, especially in rural communities.
So it's encouraging to see you coming together, the drivers of this program, to come together and sit down to review your performance and the implementation of the program. Is very encouraging.
Stakeholders are hopeful that the next phase of NGCARES intervention will consolidate on gains recorded in the previous interventions. In Lafia, Aliu Tijani, NT News.
The wife of the Ekiti State Governor, Dr. Olayemi Oyebanji, empowered over 500 school children across the 16 local government areas of the state with school materials through her back-to-school programs. Olukemi Sone reports that the empowerment is to provide vulnerable children with tools needed to compete favorably among their peers.
To make it easy for the pupils this 2025-2026 academic session, wife of the governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Olayemi Oyebanji, distributed school materials to children, especially the less privileged, to boost their confidence among their peers. She said the initiative is a proof of her commitment to ensuring that every child in Ekiti State has the resources they need to thrive in school, while urging the beneficiaries to make judicious use of the materials to study hard and aim high.
These items, though modest, are meant to ease the burden on parents, while also motivating our children to take their studies seriously.
Deputy Governor, Secretary to the State Government, the Commissioner for Education, Head of Service, and the coordinator of the PES project of the wife of the governor said huge success recorded at the previous editions of the project and the positive feedbacks at its impact across the state encouraged the wife of the governor to increase the number of beneficiaries this year to 500, stressing that distribution of these materials would further complement the Governor Biodun Oyebanji's efforts in the education sector. Some of the beneficiaries thanked the wife of the governor for the gesture. Materials distributed include school bags, mathematical sets, food warmers, water bottles, books, and writing materials. In Ado Ekiti, Olukemi Sani, NTA News.
The inaugural African Defense Chiefs Summit has ended in Abuja with a call for unity and collaboration to confront the continent's evolving security challenges. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the defense chiefs are unanimous in looking inward to develop their military-industrial complex, intensify joint security operations, and upscale intelligence sharing.
The first plenary of this summit discussed the need for more effective border management and regional security cooperation. During this discussion, we recognized that porous borders fuel terrorism, trafficking, and armed banditry, and we stressed the need for integrated security frameworks to address these challenges. It was evident that sharing intelligence, conducting joint operations, and coordinating counter-radicalization efforts are essential. Counter-radicalization efforts remain non-negotiable, as terrorism anywhere on our continent is a threat to peace everywhere in Africa.
Kogi State, created 34 years ago, has made significant progress over the years in terms of socio-economic, education, health, and general infrastructural development. At 34, though no special event was organized to mark the day, correspondent Solomon Ayidehi spoke with some analysts in Lokoja on the successes and challenges confronting the state.
Kogi State was created on the 27th of August 1991 by former military president General Ibrahim Babangida. Carved out of the old Kwara and Benue states, Kogi is popularly known as the Confluence State because of the country's two major rivers, Niger and Benue. Blessed with abundant human and natural resources, including arable land, solid mineral deposits, and tourist potentials, the state has been administered by 9 chief executives under 11 regimes of both the military and democratically elected administrations, in addition to an acting regime which resulted from electoral litigation in 2008. While governance is seen as a continuous process, experts believe that Kogi State, though may not have been where it is supposed to be in terms of development 34 years down the lane, a lot is said to have been achieved in different sectors of the state economy.
We have fragments of tribes, and yet we are working stronger and stronger.
Ganaja flyover bridge, it used to be a place that looks like a shrine. Today, go there and see. We have 3 universities owned by the state.
We are not yet where we should be, but at least we're happy that the journey has taken off.
What we need is good leadership, good governance. Good governance will unite us.
Other opinion molders, however, query the position of the state economy, emphasizing that Kogi State has no business being poor, considering the abundant resources it is endowed with.
We can't be priding ourselves as having 34 solid minerals, and yet we are still suffering.
Government should begin to think towards also acquiring licenses to make sure that we also tap into these mineral resources.
As the state marks its 34th anniversary, stakeholders commend the vision of its founding fathers tailored towards a peaceful coexistence, craving more support for the administration of Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo to move Kogi State to the next level of development in the interest of all. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayidehi, NTA News.
The Minister of Transportation, Senator Said Ahmed Al-Khali, has constituted a committee to investigate the train derailment that occurred along Abuja-Kaduna rail line. The minister notes that constituting a committee with representatives of different critical stakeholders has become imperative to unravel the cause of the incident. In a statement signed by the Director of Press and Information, Janet Dixon Noah, the committee has been charged to investigate the immediate and remote causes of the accident, make recommendations on how to prevent similar incidents in the future, and identify ways to enhance the safety and effectiveness of rail transportation in Nigeria. Federal government of Nigeria has extended its deepest condolences and solidarity to the government and people of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. This follows the catastrophic damage caused by Typhoon Kajiki, which struck central Vietnam on August 25, 2025. A statement by the spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kemie B. Ibiefa, indicates that the storm has resulted in significant loss of lives, widespread community displacement, and severe damage to property and critical infrastructure across multiple provinces. The statement commended the concerted effort of the Vietnamese authorities in responding to the disaster, undertaking evacuations and providing immediate relief to affected citizens. The Nigerian government prayed for the nation during the difficult time and further sympathized with the victims and affirmed Nigerians' confidence in Vietnam's resilience and capacity to overcome the adversity and rebuilding communities. And this is where we end the late night news at 11 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Vivian Ezadefi. Bye for now.